What's up everyone and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to give you the top 10 loadouts you can be using right now in season 4 of Warzone 2. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that noti bell, and hit that like button so you don't miss another video like this, and you can always stay up to date on every loadout in the game. I'm not gonna waste your time, got a lot of loadouts to give you today, so let's get into it. First up, if you're a fan of LMGs, we're gonna go with the Rapp H. Go with the Tempest GH50 muzzle. We're gonna tune that for recoil stabilization and recoil control. Then we're gonna go with the Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel. We're gonna tune that for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. Then the FSS OV laser tune for we're gonna leave the left side alone, and then we're gonna tune it for aiming idle stability. I like the SZ recharge DX optic, but use whatever sight you want. I've got it tuned for aim down sight speed and close, and then the high velocity ammo tuned for bullet velocity. Then I've got this paired with the AUG SMG. Now I highly recommend a STB 556 version of this weapon that I'll talk about later in the video, but if you want to go with just the MX9 for solos, it's very good. Go with a 1 milliwatt quick fire laser, tune that for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. The Cronin Mini Pro optic, tune for aim down sight speed and far. The Tach C11 riser comb, tune for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. The Bruin Q900 grip, tune for aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. And then the 32 round mag, which is the only mag available, which is why I highly recommend an STB 556 build I'll talk about later. Next, if you're a fan of the Fennec is really good again right now, and I go with the Spiral Flash Hider muzzle, tuned for aim down sight speed and gun kick control. Then the 7 milliwatt laser, tuned for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. And then the Agile Assault 7 stock, tuned for aim walking steadiness and aim walking speed. Then I've got the Fennec 45 round mag, and then the auto frangible ammo right here. It's definitely the best ammo in the game right now. 4 SMGs, tuned for damage range and bullet velocity. Then I paired that with the Kastov 545. I highly recommend this build. There's a very little to no recoil on it. We're going to tune this for recoil stabilization and recoil control. The Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel, tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. The high velocity ammo, tuned for damage range and bullet velocity. The 60 round mag, and then again, whatever optic you want. I've got the SZ recharge DX optic, tuned for aim down sight speed and close. Next loadout comes with the Tach 56. I know a lot of people love this weapon right now. I've got the X10 ported 290 muzzle on it, tuned for recoil stabilization and recoil control. The Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel, tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. The high velocity ammo, tuned for damage range and bullet velocity. The 60 round mag, and then honestly you could even go without an optic. If you go without an optic, I highly recommend the FSS OV laser, or if you want to go with the barrel, go with the Tundra Pro barrel. Definitely very valuable there, but completely up to you. I've got it paired with an optic right now since it does slay at pretty much any range, it feels like, but very little recoil on that as well. Next up is another LMG. Again, these are in no particular order. I always recommend use what's most comfortable to you. But for that HCR, we're going to go with the Komodo heavy muzzle, tuned for recoil stabilization and recoil control. 7 milliwatt laser, tuned for sprint to fire speed and aim idle stability. The Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel, tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. The high velocity ammo, tuned for damage range and bullet velocity. And again, whatever optic you want, completely up to you. Next is the MP7, which is something that I don't think a lot of people are talking about right now, which is it's so good. I got the Schlager L203 barrel on it, tuned for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. The 1 milliwatt quick fire laser, tuned for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. The 60 round mag, the Demo RXT stock, tuned for aim down sight speed and aim walking speed. And then the Schlager Soldier grip, tuned for aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Next up, I know a lot of people love the M13, and I've got a very good M13 build for you. I highly recommend you try it. Go with the Komodo heavy muzzle, tuned for recoil stabilization and recoil control. The Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel, tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. The high velocity ammo, tuned for damage range and bullet velocity. The 60 round drum, and then the SZ recharge DX optic. Again, whatever optic you want, Cronin Mini Pro, whatever you guys want on there. I just recommend, if you're using a longer range optic, tuned for aim down sight speed and close. Close gives you just a bigger sight picture, so you can see more while you're ADS'd, but again, completely up to you. An SMG you compare that with is the PDSW. The PDSW is so weirdly good right now, and I don't know why. We go with the 1 milliwatt quick fire laser sight, tune that for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. The frangible ammo tuned for damage range and bullet velocity. The GR33 light rail, this thing makes it so fast. Then go with the GR33 light rail. This makes the movement speed of this weapon so fast, almost like carrying a pistol. Tuned for sprint speed and sprint to fire speed. The TV Tach comb here, tuned for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. And the Bruin Q900 grip, tuned for aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Next is my favorite sniper build right now. I've got an FJX for you, and then I've also got an MCPR 300 for those fans as well. But I highly recommend the FJX for Vondel. Vondel, it seems to be the best option for Vondel because of the aim down sight speed it has and things like that. It's just a faster option for faster gameplay. Now, if you're running ranked or you're running the bigger map, Al Mazrah, I highly recommend the MCPR 300. I'll give you both right now. But for the FJX, we're going to go with the Nil Sound 90 muzzle, tuned for aim down sight speed and bullet velocity. The explosive ammo, this makes it, you're able to one shot to the head. Pretty much at any range if you hit somebody's head. Kind of hard to do, but again, damage range and bullet velocity. 7 milliwatt laser, this increases that ADS speed, which is very important for Vondel and fast-paced gameplay. Tuned for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. The Forge Tach Delta optic here, you can go with the base optic, but it's going to slow down that ADS, and that's not what we're trying to do here. Going with the Forge Tach Delta, this will highly speed up that ADS speed. Tune this for ADS and far. And then go with the Skull 40. Again, the sprint to fire speed is very important for fast-paced gameplay. And then aim down, it helps that aim down sight speed again. Tuned for aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Now for that MCPR 300, you're going to go with the Nil Sound 90 again, tuned for aim down sight speed and bullet velocity. The FSS Ulvi laser for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Again, the Forge Tach Delta optic. If you want to go with the base optic, I like the base optic as well. You want to put on maybe like a stock or the bolt even to kind of increase the fire rate a little bit, and you don't, or take off the 5-round mag and do the bolt, whatever you want to do there. I just like that movement. That 5-round mag helps that movement speed quite a bit with the weapon and to get away from enemies and things like that. Since there's no slide cancel, no way to get away there, it just helps it quite a bit in my opinion. Then go with the explosive ammo again. This will help you one-shot your enemies, but you have to hit them in the head. Then I like to pair my snipers right now with the STB 556. I like going with the X10 ported and 290 muzzle, tuned for recoil stabilization and recoil control. F-Tac Ripper 56, we're going to tune that for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. Again, this is that AUG that I recommended instead of the MX9 for quads and trios. I highly recommend it. Go and tune a high velocity for damage range and bullet velocity. Then the 42-round mag and the Cronin Mini Pro optic, or whatever sight you want to use, but I do recommend you use the sight on this because the base optics are just so bad on every single AUG. It's very hard to see. Now, the next three are my top three. I know that I said these weren't in any particular order. That was for the rest of these, but these top three, honestly, I'm absolutely loving right now. I know the SO14 is really popular right now. I can give you guys a class for that real quick if you really want it. I'm not a big fan of the single fire weapons or anything like that. But if you want to go with the SO14, go with the recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability on the Lockshot KT85. Or you can even go with the, I think the GH50, just tune it the same way. Go with the 22-inch Boremaster barrel, tuned for recoil stabilization and damage range. Hybrid fire point optic, I like having this because I can switch to like a closer range. If I'm in the end game and I need a closer range automatic weapon, switch it to full auto, go with the switch to hybrid sight and be able to beam enemies at a little bit more of a mid-range if I need to, or a closer range if I need to. If I'm carrying like a F-Tac Siege or something with me for the water or something like that, this helps a little bit with that mid-range. And then the high velocity ammo here, tuned for recoil smoothness, and we're leaving the bottom alone. And then the 50-round drum right here. All right, so use that if you like it. If you have another loadout for it, make sure to drop it down in the comments. I'm really enjoying this one right now. If I do use this weapon, it's really good for ranked. That much I do know. But then for my top three here, I like the Tach V. Tach V is a lot of fan favorites. Going with the GH50 muzzle here, tuned for recoil stabilization and recoil control. The Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. A high velocity ammo tuned for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. I like, again, whatever optic you want. I like the Recharge DX optic, my favorite, and then the 50 round drum. I pair this is usually my ranked loadout. I use the MP5 as my SMG usually. We're going with the spiral flash hider muzzle tuned for ADS and gun kick control. The frangible ammo, I highly recommend it still again right now. Damage range and bullet velocity tuning there. The 7 milliwatt laser tuned for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. And then the 50 round drum because of the health increase. Usually I would run the 40 round mag, but the health increase, the extra 50 HP they give us, you're gonna need that extra ammo in my opinion, especially for ranked, but that's just me. My absolute favorite loadout to run right now is the Razorback and the Bas-P. I'm not saying it's the best out there. I'm not saying it's the best, but I feel like for a fact it's number 2 in my book. Number 1's going to be the Lockman 556 and the ISO 45, which we all know are meta right now. The Razorback is not being talked about enough, I feel like, and so is the Bas-P. Bas-P's insane. So I like this Razorback, really, really good. Again, whatever optic you want. I like going with the longer range optic, but I put the Chrono Mini Pro on here for you. Going with the Seiken Tread 40 muzzle tuned for recoil stabilization and recoil control. A high velocity ammo tuned for damage range and bullet velocity. And then the 60 round mag. Now, the underbarrel is something I want to talk about. I like the Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel. I've had a lot of comments this week on the DM Proto Grip. The Proto Grip is specially made for this weapon. It does give it, on as far as stats go, it gives it better recoil control but less accuracy than the Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel. So as you can see, the accuracy goes way up and the recoil control goes down a little bit. So I don't know how that works, but again, the recoil control goes up higher and accuracy goes down with this. Use whatever you want, whichever one feels better. In my opinion, the DM Proto Grip allows for less horizontal recoil control, and that's why it's labeled here, right here, horizontal recoil control. It doesn't have any like vertical recoil control stabilization where the Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel technically does. So you'll get more horizontal recoil control here. If you have trouble controlling your vertical recoil, use the Tach Ripper 56. If you have more trouble controlling your vertical recoil control, use the Demo Proto Grip. I think I'm getting that right, but use whichever one you want. Drop in the comments which one you prefer more, but I like those two. And then I tune it for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. Then for the Bas-P, I go with the spiral flash hider muzzle. I'm a real fan of this muzzle, obviously, as you've seen. Tune it for ADS and gun kick control. And then we're gonna go with the frangible ammo, tuned for damage range and bullet velocity. The 45 round mag here. The True Tech grip, rear grip, tuned for ADS and aiming idle stability. And the Ultra Z stock tuned for ADS and aim walking speed. I should also note that I am using my mouse right now. I am on PC, but I do play on controller. So don't let the mouse fool you. I do not play keyboard and mouse. But again, to each their own there. The number 1 in the book, Lockman 556 and the ISO 45. These are the 2 best weapons right now in the game, in my opinion, especially for Vondel. ISO is just unbeatable, especially in ranked right now. And then the Lockman 556. The X10 ported 290 muzzle tuned for recoil stabilization and recoil control. The Tach Ripper 56 underbarrel tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. The high velocity ammo tuned for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. The SC Recharge DX optics, what I use, completely up to you again. And the 60 round mag. Then for the ISO 45, take the optic off if you want. I've enjoyed having the optic on a little bit more, but to each their own there. Tach Castle Comp muzzle tuned for recoil stabilization and recoil control. Auto frangible tuned for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. The 45 round drum and the Demo Fade Tach stock here tuned for aim down sight speed and aim walking speed. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that noti bell so you don't miss another video like this, or like any of these over here. Appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one.